Test. Try that. How's that? Is that working?
There we go. Well, good morning, everybody. Here we go. We're about ready to kick off the second regular session of the 75th General Assembly. Quite an honor and a privilege to be here today with all of you and my amazing caucus members, getting ready to start the work of the people. A few prepared comments from me and some of the leadership, and then we'll answer, if we have time, we'll answer a few questions, then get ready to get on the floor to get this thing started. So again, welcome everybody. As we celebrate 150 years of statehood, As we honor 150 years of statehood, we honor those who shaped Colorado, from the indigenous tribes who first stewarded this land to the generations who followed, united by vision, courage, and a willingness to take risks for the chances at something better. But we're at this unique inflection point in time. Actually, we're in a bit of uncharted territory. We're about to embark on our 8th straight session of single-party control of the House, the Senate, and the governorship. So this hasn't happened. Really, there was a period in the 60s where there was 8 years of Republican control, but it was also marked by a period in that time period where the lieutenant governor actually wasn't a Republican. So it's been a long time, 60 plus years, before we've kind of experienced this phenomenon we're in with 8 straight years of single party control. So we think there's certainly a better path and vision for Colorado in front of us, and we offer, a new vision where there's some balance and a balanced approach to policy, and will produce better outcomes for Coloradans. The people of Colorado are pretty clear what they need from us. They want a state that's affordable. Again, I've been here, this is my 6th session. Every year for the prior 5 years, it's how are we going to make Colorado more affordable? And it feels like every year we go 1 step forward and 2 or 3 steps backwards. So we're going to continue to try to focus on how do we make Colorado affordable, safe again, same conversation we've had, I think, every year I've been here. How do we make Colorado safer and full of opportunity and willing, and folks are concerned about the political division and divisiveness in the state of Colorado. They want a government that listens to them, respects their work, and understands the pressures facing families, small businesses, and communities, both urban and rural. Lowering costs must be a priority. Opening new opportunities must be our focus, and restoring trust through responsible, respectful leadership must guide our work. The Republican Party is ready and willing to stand with anybody that wants to take on these important tasks to commit to real change in Colorado and drive some better results. Just as earlier generations built roads through difficult terrain, our responsibility is to build pathways forward for opportunity, unity, and a stronger Colorado. The gold above us on the dome reflects our past. The choices we make this session will shape our future. Let us meet this moment with purpose and resolve. We're, again, offering opportunity to create a different outcome. In this legislative session, from the minority perspective, we got to think about how do we engage potentially differently, because we've not, it's been 5 straight years in my tenure of largely just playing defense. How do we work with our colleagues to chart a different path forward with more positive outcomes in those very important roles? And so with that, those are my initial comments, and I'm going to hand the mic over to I have the distinct honor of offering the mic to my great Assistant Minority Leader, Senator Frizzell. Thank you all.
Thank you, Cleve. And thank you so much for being here this morning. So Colorado's economy has long, for about 150 years, thrived on innovation, small businesses, and responsible stewardship of our natural resources. In recent years, however, excessive and poorly coordinated regulation has become a serious barrier to affordability, job growth, and economic stability in our state. These problems aren't accidental. As the minority leader just talked about, we've had single-party control for the last 8 years, and these problems have become greater and greater and greater each year. These problems are a direct result of policy choices made under one-party Democratic control of state government. In 2018, 8 years ago, Colorado was the 47th most regulated state in the United States. And now we are the 6th most regulated state in the United States. When I talk to folks all around Colorado, the common question is, what the heck happened to this place that I love? Policy made in this building is what happened. Regulation should protect public health and safety without stifling opportunity and driving up costs. Republicans believe in smart, accountable regulation, rules that are clear, limited, and focused on outcomes, not ideology. Colorado needs a course correction. We need fewer mandates, more transparency, and a renewed focus on affordability, growth, and local control. Our business community is crying out for stability that they can thrive under, so that they know what's coming, they can predict. We do need a course correction for Colorado. We need to change the path of our state. And with that, I would like to pass the mic to a woman who needs absolutely no introduction, Senator Barbara Kirkmeyer.
Thank you. It's been 34 years since Tabor passed. 34 years, and in the last 7 years, certainly in the last 5 years, our colleagues across the aisle, instead of trying to work with Tabor and work within Tabor, have tried to figure out how to work around Tabor. Governor Polis has stated that the state is projected to be significantly below the revenue cap for the current period. There will be no Tabor surplus. That's because we've had a reduction in taxes. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Tabor didn't cause overspending. Tabor didn't cause our problems in the budget. Simply put, Tabor protects taxpayers from overspending. It ensures that we limit government. It ensures that we have a safety net in place for our taxpayers, and that we try to really truly work on affordability. Tabor keeps government in check. That's what it's supposed to do, and that's what it's been doing. We don't have a revenue problem in our state. We have still increased revenues. We're not in a recession. We have a spending problem in this state. The real problem is a spending culture that assumes taxpayer money belongs to the government first. It's time for our colleagues across the aisle to quit placing blame on others, to quit placing blame on Tabor, and to get down to the work for the people of the state of Colorado. It's time that we clean up this mess that's been created over the last 5-7 years. Unaffordability, unsafe, we're unraveling, and our roads are crumbling. It's time for our colleagues across the aisle to get serious. Colorado needs a new direction. We need to change course. We can't keep going down the same broken road, the same path, with these same policies that have gotten us into this mess. So we're ready, Republicans. We have a plan for a new direction, a new hope. We have a roadmap for the new horizon. We will be carrying legislation that will cut taxes, that will reduce regulation, that will bring back accountability to our education system. It's about time we quit accepting that 60% of our kids in the 3rd grade can't read at the 3rd grade level. We are failing our kids, and we've done it for 2 generations. It's time for accountability in education. And we need to increase the safety in our neighborhoods by working with law enforcement and district attorneys, not against them. It's time to actually govern, manage this budget, and get us back on a roadmap to success. With that, we thank you, and we will open up for questions.
Yes.
Mr. Minority Leader?
Yeah, questions? Does Chad help me in this space? Go ahead.
Senator Kirkmeyer, this one might be best for you. I spoke with the chair of political science at MSU yesterday, who did say that there are certain costs that are being increased due to inflation and that the Tabor formula does not account for that. Do you believe that the Tabor formula needs to be re-examined at all?
No, the Tabor formula is actually in our Constitution, and the Tabor formula is based on inflation plus population. So everybody in their own home, at their own kitchen table, when they're figuring out their budgets and figuring out what they're going to spend on, they know what their priorities are. What we have in this state with our colleagues across the aisle is a crisis of priorities. Tabor gets the increase by inflation plus growth. We need to learn to live within our means, just like every Coloradoan and every working family in this state.
Yeah, and Senator Kirkmeyer, you mentioned education accountability. What does accountability for education look like?
What it looks like to me is I have a bill I'm working on with Senator Kolker, which is the School Finance Act. And we've been putting $35 million a year to trying to get to this READ Act to get kids to a place where they're actually reading in the 3rd grade. It's not working. We have not increased the percentages. We have not made improvements. We have not made better. You know what? A couple of years ago, we got rid of the budget stabilization factor. That was an amendment that was carried by myself and Senator Paul Lundeen. That was Republicans getting rid of the budget stabilization factor. And, you know, now the time's to hold them accountable. They're getting the funding that's required under the Constitution. Schools are fully funded under the Constitution. It's time now for accountability. We all need to sit down and figure out how we are going to get kids reading, because that's the only way we're going to start breaking cycles of poverty.
So is that accountability cutting funding for schools that are meeting a certain level, or putting in busy programs?
Nope. It's looking at the programs that are done down, like, for example, in Mississippi, who turned their reading scores around. And it's basically adding additional programs and requiring that children can read and that teachers are teaching them and that the content in our schools is such that these kids can learn how to read by 3rd grade. So it may mean summer school, it may mean extra time, and it may mean that we're putting more time in on reading and looking at our curriculum and our content.
Great. Any other questions? Here we go. Down here.
Minority Leader, you know, the Democrats have said that one of their top priorities is pushing back on the Trump administration. I'd love a response and how you guys plan to fight that or not.
Really, I would hope we would focus on things that are important and impactful in Colorado. Again, our affordability, you know, what it costs to live here ought to be the highest priority. Again, we've had opportunities in the past. We've offered policies in the past to reduce some of the burdens in this space. We've created 200 new programs and offices in the last 15 years. To Senator Kirkmeyer's point, we have a crisis of priorities where, you know, we don't sit down and evaluate. Do we really need the Office of Saving People Money on Healthcare? Do we really need the Office of Rail Safety? Again, those 200 of those. I would hope we would spend more time focused on those conversations and less focus on the shiny objects and what's happening in Washington and national politics. It would serve Colorado much better if we would focus in that space.
Senator Simpson, President Trump said yesterday that affordability is a hoax. It's not a real word. You seem to disagree, having used it many times. What exactly are you going to do to make things more affordable? And what do you think of President Trump's comments?
Well, look, President Trump can have his comments, and I truly believe that affordability is not a hoax. I was born and raised here and watched how this state has changed, particularly in the last decade, and what it costs to purchase a house here. Like a very fundamental affordability issue, and having home ownership is like, you know, the American dream. And we've made that incrementally harder in this state. What we do, and again, I touched on it earlier, we could offer an abundance of policy ideas and proposals, and we have in my tenure, and regularly they get shut down. They just get pushed back. So trying to think about, is there a different strategy? How do I approach the majority party with a different kind of, it's not really messaging, but how do you engage with them differently to produce a different outcome? And it feels a little bit like the pendulum is starting to swing a little bit. We'll see how that unfolds during the session, but can we reduce can we eliminate some of the enterprises? Can we potentially reduce the size of government? We've grown this state government by thousands of new employees over the last 8 years, and arguably, again, has that produced results for Coloradans? I think we should evaluate that and really determine the efficiency and effectiveness of some of those programs. So it's a nuanced answer to a difficult conversation about how we became less affordable.
Any other? Here we go.
Take a step. Look, go ahead, Barb.
I would hope that we could come together on regulations around the utility industry and the energy, the cost of energy. Because if the cost of energy goes up for homes, it goes up everything, and it exponentially increases prices. So when there has been legislation that was put in place, I think it was in 2021, that had the 2050, no carbon, zero carbon kind of thing. And then here we have had, since 2021, we've had something like 73 more bills to go after and keep reducing it and putting on more regulation on the utility and on the energy industry. So how about we go back and try and work together so that we don't ban natural gas, so that we don't have yet another 38% increase in our energy and utility bills throughout the state of Colorado. And how about we all work together to say, look, the law was passed in 21, how about we just figure out how to make that work instead of adding on more burden, more regulation, and driving up the cost for everybody in the state of Colorado. So I would hope that we could work on that. And maybe the governor would work with us and go talk to his members on the PUC and tell them to knock it off.
I would just add to that quickly. Again, that regulatory environment ought to be the space where there's room for conversation. You think about building performance standards. You think about the clean heat plan, which is what Senator Kirkmeyer was referring to. The PUC says you have to have a 41% reduction in natural gas emissions in the next 10 years. That's just, it's not plausible, it's not practical, and it's expensive. So why can't we come together and work in this space? And we'll find out this session what the appetite is from the majority party to truly make some changes to make life more affordable in Colorado.
Go ahead.
I feel like I ask a version of this question every year, but you guys talk about the state needing a new direction, but the voters, put Democrats in charge for the last 6-8 years or whatever. So what does that say about how they feel about Republicans' values and ideas, and how are you guys trying to adapt to meet voters where they're at?
Well, Jesse, look, that boils down to trying to put forward, and we will put forward, really viable, electable candidates that represent the values of Coloradans and largely that big block of unaffiliated voters. And look, maybe in the past we haven't done that, so we're going to focus on that. And then messaging. Maybe we haven't been great in messaging about, life is less affordable in Colorado and less safe. What are the solutions we think, if we happen to move into the majority, which I hope we do later this year, like what could we do different to change the outcome for folks? It's been a frustrating life experience for me over the last decade. So again, I touched on that a little earlier, trying to think strategically, all right, how do you affect a different outcome? And like me personally, I'm trying to work through that to think about what it is, because the messaging about cost of living here and Senator Kirkmeyer's discussions around Tabor, those things are important to the voters in the state of Colorado. If we can focus in those spaces and those messages with real solutions, I think the dynamic changes.
And then go back to the budget. Medicaid is a huge part of the budget. It's been growing faster than Tabor Cap. How's the caucus thinking about the likelihood of Medicaid cuts making some kind of changes?
Can we do that one?
Of course.
Absolutely. The reality is this. For the last 2 years, we have done about $500 million out of cash funds into ongoing general fund operations. So that's where $1 billion shortfall comes through. So with regard to Medicaid, everything in the budget, with the exception of education programs, based per pupil counts and our funding and categoricals, but everything else subject to getting cut.